Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a fantastic day today. Today we're going to try something a little different. We probably get back to Mondays in the 90s next week. But I wanted to read some comments from some viewers that I just thought were great comments worth mentioning. But before we do that, I want to thank everyone who participated in the poll from last Wednesday, and that's how much do you think Michael Jordan would average in this current Barbie era? And the choices were 30 to 35, 35 to 40, 40 to 45, and 45 to 50. And it seems that the majority of people think that Michael Jordan would average 40 to 45 points, which I think is a good guesstimation. Now, I will say this. I think, well, number one, I think Michael Jordan would average whatever he chose to average in this era. But more importantly, I think Michael Jordan is going to average whatever translates to wins. So if that's a little bit more, a little bit less, I think that's what he's doing. But all right, so let's get into this. This first comment is from a viewer, and forgive me if I mess up the name. Cujo Baldissimo. That's at KAJOBALDISIMO. And this comes from my Rich Paul's ridiculous reason he gives for LeBron James being the GOAT video. And he says the king is not constantly being scrutinized. He is being fact-checked. That's what you do with people who lie all the time. And, I think this is absolutely correct. I think saying that he is being fact-checked is an accurate statement. That is an accurate way to view this. For the simple fact, again, just like the video I just did about LeBron saying he makes the right play all of the time. I mean, again, 5,000 turnovers says that's not the case. So when you constantly make statements like that, again, people are going to pick you apart. People are going to say, hey, wait a minute, this doesn't sound right. And people are going to do their research to see whether you are telling the truth or not, which is what it comes down to. A lot of the LeBron James narratives, again, narrative/excuses are usually made and come up when he fails. And again, the role of a good leader is just simply take responsibility for that failure. But that's not LeBron James. So yeah, I think him saying, we're fact checking. That's what this is. I think that's an appropriate way to look at this. Again, shout out to at Cujo Baldissimo. Next comment comes from my Michael Jordan, here's why you couldn't guard MJ video. Shout out to at Sam Mac videos or Sam Mac videos. There's at SAMMACVIDEOS. And he says Mike was more athletic and decisive with his moves. Kobe probed more to get his shot off. You will have to combine prime D Wade, prime Kobe, with Kawhi's defense and the energy of Westbrook to create MJ. And I think that is a pretty accurate statement. I mean, when you read it, it sounds ridiculous. But again, when we look at MJ, to me, MJ is the only player where you constantly question, is this guy human like everybody else on the court? So yeah, I don't disagree with that, especially in terms of when you compare MJ and Kobe. I think that's a good way to, you know, Kobe was more probing, where MJ was definitely more decisive. I feel like MJ, again, it wasn't a whole lot of dribbles. It wasn't a whole lot of anything. It was one or two fakes, before he even put the ball to the ground, and he's taking off, or a quick change of direction. But it was never a whole lot. It was very decisive and just enough to do whatever he needed to do. So yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, and then especially MJ in his prime. MJ in his prime, who was more athletic and more energy than MJ in his prime. We've all heard the stories about MJ staying up all night, and then next game he's dropping 30, 40 points. There's one story out there about MJ. I think this was the same day. Had played so many rounds of golf and drank a 12-pack or something, a 12-pack of beer, and then bet the guy that they were going to go out there and win by a certain amount of points, and he would have 30 or 40 points or something, and he actually did it. So MJ was literally a freak of nature. And I will say this. A lot of people try to compare LeBron's athleticism to MJ. I don't think LeBron was as athletic as MJ. I think LeBron was athletic for his size. For a guy that size and that weight, he's very athletic. But when we're just talking about, arguably the most athletic player to ever play basketball, I really think that kind of stays between MJ and Wilt Chamberlain. I never got to see Wilt play again, but just from some of the videos, and some of the stories, if some of these stories about Wilt is true, I would have to say definitely him and MJ have to be at the very top of athleticism as far as NBA players. But anyway, let me know what y'all think about that one. Next comment comes from a viewer at 98or. Shout out to at 98or. I think this is the same video. Michael Jordan, here's why you couldn't guard MJ. He says, I'm not into sports, never have been. But since I saw a clip of MJ 2 years ago, I watched him almost every day. He looks like an artist. So many of his moves look within the flow of his game, like he came up with it on the spot. His fundamentals combined with that athleticism gave him freedom of expression that I've never seen before. His body control was ludicrous. MJ, from the moment I saw him, seemed like I was looking at art in human form. Kobe, nice too, though. But personally, after watching some of the other greats, MJ visually seems so far ahead. Again, some we've all talked about. With the eye test with MJ, I don't even know how anybody could compare just from the eye test alone. Like I said, not even Kobe. I love Kobe Bryant. What else did he say? Oh, yes. So he talked about MJ's body control. And I think that is probably one thing that doesn't get talked about enough with Michael Jordan, is the way he would be able to control his body in the air, especially when you're talking about absorbing the contact, was really, unreal. Some of them clips you would see with Michael Jordan getting bumped in the air, but still somehow manages to keep his shoulders square with the rim. Why the bottom half of his body may be twisted another way, but somehow he is so focused on making a shot that the upper body is still square with the rim. And those kind of clips to me, just like I said, they just put MJ on a whole nother level. You know, that's a whole nother level of focus, whole nother level of determination. You know, just whole other level of body control that I mean, have we seen anybody else like that? Not even Kobe from that standpoint. Kobe had a lot of moves, and he had a lot of great moves, and he had a lot of moves to finish at the basket. But in terms of just like, you know, seeming to always be able to keep your shoulders square with the rim, MJ was just on another level. And then he said something about the fact that, you know, MJ looking like an artist. And yeah, you know, I agree. You know, MJ's way he played basketball, the creativity which he played with, and especially considering there was nobody like MJ before MJ. I mean, you can watch other players like, you know, clearly MJ studied some Dr. J. Clearly MJ studied some David Thompson. I feel like if you watch David Thompson play, you can definitely tell that he was an influence on MJ. But MJ just took all of that stuff to a completely new level and just added things that we haven't seen before or since, again. And, you know, and while Kobe emulated a lot of Jordan's moves, you know, there were certain things that Kobe just could not imitate of Jordan, that nobody could, you know. So, yeah, Jordan was definitely an artist, you know. I think that would be an appropriate description, you know, for how Jordan was on the basketball court. Definitely an artist. And we're going to do one more on this video. This one comes from the, so they want to label Michael Jordan's 96 through 98 teams a super team. And shout out to @fatboy5926. And his comment was simply, Jordan couldn't beat the bad boys till they got old. Also LeBron fans. Old ass Rodman makes them a super team. I mean, facts. I mean, you know, this is the typical fanboy logic. Shout out to @fatboy5926. I mean, yeah, it's like they want to say Jordan couldn't beat the Pistons till they got old, but now old Rodman makes makes Chicago a super team. Fanboys, hey. Well, y'all are special. you guys are special. But anyway, that was a great comment. Again, shout out to @fatboy5926. That's gonna wrap it up for today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and you know, I might do more stuff like this because I just think, you know, y'all leave some great comments, and I think it'd be good to just share some of these comments with everybody. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. You all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.